All right, so boom. E-girls who ruin their career in seconds by Pepe Zilla. Let's get right into it.
These e-girl streamers weren't the same after just one incident, whether it's faking a kidnapping or straight up scamming your audience. My name is Pepe Zilla, and today we'll be talking about 3 Russian female streamers who ruined their career in seconds. Starting with Smikalka. Smikalka's streams didn't rely on classic e-girl model, known as booba equals good. She actually had a pretty cool personality. Whether it was falling from chair, talking to chat, playing CS, people loved her. She was just a normal girl who didn't pretend to be something she is not, and that's what made her unique at the time. Everything was going great.
Which, that is always going to be cool when you see someone who can genuinely and naturally be entertaining by being themselves. But she probably figured out the meta, or did she not? Because this is e-girls ruin their life. So did she figure out the meta, or did she like ruin that shit?
For Smikalichka. She had a good name among other streamers, viewer count was growing, and you know, her career seemed to be going pretty well. Of course, that would soon change and her viewers would realize she's not as cute and innocent as everyone thought. One feral evening, Smikalka turned on the stream and viewers were greeted with a face full of tears and fear in her eyes while she was begging people for help. She explained how her mother was scammed and that she might go to jail for a flippin' 25 years unless Smikalka somehow scrambles $500,000 rubles to get a lawyer, so her mother could fight against the scam. $500,000 rubles at the time was around $8,000.
So she scammed her audience?
Like much, but for average Russian citizen, that's quite a lot. Regardless, that seemed to be no problem for her audience. She receives a lot of donations from her fans, and even other big creators tuned in to help her out.
Сегодня я наткнулся на такую, блядь, историю. Вот у нее маму хотят в тюрьму посадить на 25 лет. Ну вот такие вещи надо помогать, пацаны. Типа, не так важно подавать просто стримеру, знаешь, на фане, типа, как помочь человеку с какой-то бедой.
Сейчас я собираю деньги на адвоката, на вот.
Да.
Мы как сделаем? Или мой друг...
So like, all these people helped her and she was scamming them? Hey man, this just goes to show you it doesn't even matter the country you're in. You got to be careful, you got to pay attention, you got to be really on that shit, bro, because you never know.
Подедет. Или же мы с другом подедем, ну, скорее всего, может быть, завтра. Хорошо? Договорились?
Да, хорошо.
She received total of 600k rubles, which was even beyond the sum she even needed. Everyone felt sad for Smikalka. Like, come on, cute pretty girl done wrong? That cannot be. While majority of people didn't even question the whole situation, others didn't really buy it. And when they were asking questions in chat, they were instantly banned.
Yeah, I ban him.
That's kind of a weird response when asking for a simple proof. What's even more shocking is that her family wasn't really poor. They had 2 cars, a house, 3 apartments, goddammit. Smikalka even got her teeth done for 1 million rubles. Her mother was a general director of a gas company. Like, how come they don't have money for a lawyer? Another weird thing is that this whole trial has been going for 15 months already and she didn't even get a lawyer? That doesn't add up. The very next day, when Zelim Khan, the guy who called her to offer a helping hand, is on his meetup with Smikalka that they agreed on. He gives her a call and he's asking whether she will be there on time.
Моя мама с адвокатом встречается, типа, ну, получается, наша помощь не нужна. Самый прикол, мы едем в Химки по ее делу, и мы развернулись, уехали. И даже не сказала нам, что... Не знаю, зачем меня тогда просить о помощи, умоляют там.
And she answers that she doesn't need anything anymore. People did some digging and turns out her mother wasn't scamming anyone. She was the scammer. She was getting paid from the government for people that are dead, yet somehow still work in her gas company. When people found out, they were furious.
Give me my money back.
The allegations aren't true. It was a setup.
Wait, this shit got crazier, bro. This shit went to a new level. Holy fuck.
You should sleep with your eyes open.
You bastard. She didn't do anything.
We can argue that Smikalka didn't know. Like what? Her mother comes in and goes, "Hey honey, I'm scamming the government for a lot of cash. Today I got 1 million for people who are dead." What? Also, this scam was going for 2 generations already. So maybe her mom didn't even know? In my opinion, Smikalka would make way more money in the long run. So this quick cash grab didn't really make sense if it was really a planned setup. I personally think she just wanted to help her mom, although this whole situation does look a little sussy. Her mom, as for now, is serving her time in prison. she got 5 years. After causing a major social media scandal in Russia, Smekhalka just left the internet. She wiped her YouTube, Instagram and any other socials she had. Now, from what I've heard, she travels the world and enjoys her life without any appearance online. While Smekhalka started on Twitch, our next eager decided to begin her career on an adult website. The decision that
Okay, so we know that people's morals are loose in 2025. Do we have to pretend like they aren't? Right? Do we have to pretend that they aren't?
would later ruin her career. Leia was open about her past from the very beginning, with claims like,
We broke up and that chapter of my life is closed. I'm not ashamed of who I was, but I've quit for a reason.
Leia made it clear that her past life is over, and now all she wants to do is talk to her tier-3 simps. Despite her eventful past life, her chat was quite civilized, and they respected new Leia. Her persona was a cute gamer girl, who's easygoing, funny, and cares about
Bro, but I also feel like I said this before, right? Like, sometimes hoes be the funnest, right? Like, and not even like in a way that's like sexual. Like, girls who are willing to do OF and OnlyFans and XYZ, sometimes they just be fun. Sometimes they just be chill as fuck. They're not like holding some like uppity standard or low standards. Sometimes they just be down to earth, chill and fun. And like, I think that like that type of personality would go well online. If you're chill and fun and you're attractive, a lot of times things go much better.
one. And of course some cool anime uwu baiting, because that's the most amount of views. Come on, that's probably the reason why I even clicked on this video anyway. It seemed
Yep.
like Leia's
You're
future
right.
is bright. But as we know, every rose has its thorn. Because Leia used to spend all her money on clothes, overpriced makeup sets, clubbing, just to come the very next day and cry about how she doesn't even have $2 for a present for her mother. And since Thirsty Sims, who built parasocial relationships
And again, I have to say this, right? Multiple things can be true. She also could have known what the market was. She was already on OF. If she made money on that, doing that, and then seen this same method, and we could just say it's a method, right? That she could get on camera with her clothes on and bait people and game and do stuff she's interested in and yap to get subs and donations with clothes on. Maybe that's why she did this. Like we could say that that's what it is.
with Leia kept sending her money without any second thoughts. She carried on using them as cash machines. This scheme worked perfectly, until her viewers realized Leia is not as innocent as she claims to be. One day, when her tier 3 subs tuned into the stream, they were greeted by a familiar face who was building her a gaming chair that she just got as a present from one of her viewers. It was her ex-boyfriend, who we could remember from Leia's very first videos on adult websites. Wow! Turns out, this whole time he was not so ex as she claimed. For a whole 3 years, people were lied to their faces, and rightfully, they weren't happy about it, with comments like,
Here are my last $2. Buy some tissues. So next time I don't have to use my ding-dong to clean from your face like last time.
and
Looks like she wasn't that low on vitamin D after all.
this was the very moment where all the hard work Leia
But the whole thing is with this one, right? Like, okay, if she said she was single, then maybe she shouldn't have had him on camera building the chair. If that was like her whole drawing point. But even if she has the boyfriend, right? Y'all could still watch her if y'all wanted to, because y'all were never gonna smash. Y'all were never gonna get the cheeks, right? Regardless, right? She was never gonna like let y'all hit. So I don't know. That's just my thought on that particular
has put
moment.
into her image started to fall apart. People didn't buy her story no more. If this
But,
dude
you know-
is still here, then her
But the lying shit, yeah, that part does make sense. If she's been lying to them about everything she's saying, that part does make sense. I do get that. But I'm just saying in general, like if she had a dude, y'all was never smashing. Even if she didn't, y'all was still never smashing. I don't
past
know.
life isn't over, and she still does record adult videos, which in my opinion is a dumb claim. As I see it, she did stop in the corn industry, but that doesn't mean you have to break up with your boyfriend too. Real life and persona on the internet are very different things. The only problem here, in my opinion, is lying about being single, so more people would try to take that spot by sending donations on the internet. But at the end of
But she's not the only streamer who does that. That's kind of like crazy. She's not the only streamer that does
Today,
that.
streams were still the same, and over some time, this drama would fade away and nobody would really care. That would happen, of course, if Leia didn't cry about her haters every single stream. She gave way too much attention to them, and instead of moving on, she basically let this situation eat her from the inside. This was very apparent when one of the streamers made a joke about her past on the collab stream.
Блин, короче, Картман, до свидания. Больше с ним никогда играть не буду. Пусть идут в жопу, подлая крыса. Все, короче. Это, наверное, последняя моя игра в мафию, дитя. Все.
The past is like an anchor, weighting you down if you cling to it. Pepe Zilla.
And you know what? I could see why she would be upset about that, but it is also knowledge that you let everyone have. So I don't know, man. Like sometimes you gotta bite the bullet on that.
2024. This is what Leia couldn't do. Accept her past and move on. Instead, she basically cancelled herself and just left streaming for good. Now Leia is doing TikToks, Instagram, and adult content again for $10.
I can't take the hate no longer. Today was my last stream. You can now support me by buying my pictures.
I think
DM ratio for leaks is crazy. She should have kept streaming. You should have kept streaming. You should have just kept streaming. You would have got new viewers eventually, right? If your content was lit like how it was, you should have just kept doing what you were doing. Like
Leia just said,
Yeah, I sell my pictures for $10, so what?
nobody would really have a problem. You have dozens of famous people doing the same thing, and who cares? You don't really have to stop streaming because of that. Leia just wasn't strong enough to accept her past. If you open up any of her socials today, you can still find comments like "Internet doesn't forget" and "Escaping past won't fix your problems." Today's last digger who was caught lying in 4K is Danley, who went as far as faking goddamn kidnapping to maintain her career on Twitch. But let's start from the beginning.
You know, it's crazy. Wasn't there an Asian dude who did the same thing? Who kidnapped? Who did a fake? Who like went to another country to do a fake kidnapping? I'm pretty sure there's a story like that too.
Elizabeth was born on the June of 28th in Moscow. She was an average Joe among girls. She had no idea what Twitch is and what is it for. All she cared about at the time was education, going out with girls, eating borscht, and drinking birch juice, which is super tasty, by the way. You guys have no idea. Basically what I'm saying is she wasn't special in any way. Somewhere at this time she met her future boyfriend Eugene. While Danley wanted to get everyday job, Eugene dreamed big. He was talking money. He had 3 jobs, but that still wasn't enough to satisfy his expectations from life. So he had to think of a great plan how to become rich. And one day, he figured it out. Twitch new meta at the time were honkers. Wait a minute, I got a pair of honkers back home, said Eugene to himself.
I got a pair of honkers. Yo, bro said my girl's a baddie. Let me get her on this good old internet and run it up.
And called up Elizabeth. If they can, why can't Ellie do the same thing? Well, the problem was they didn't even have a computer to begin with. Eugene proposed the idea of streaming to Ellie, to which she answered that she doesn't think it's gonna work. She has never even heard of Twitch, and all that is just waste of time. But Eugene believed so much in his plan that he took out a loan from bank and even borrowed some cash from his homie. The very next day they already had gaming PC at their home. Nice camera, good lighting. The guy knew exactly what he was doing. He was also aware of the fact that nobody will donate to a girl who has a boyfriend. The very first month, she already had big donos, regular viewers, and one of those viewers was Luntik, the guy who destroyed Danley's innocence. Luntik was donating $100 here, $500 there, and as expected, they soon became pretty close to each other. Eugene one day had to borrow Danley's computer for work, but what he saw left him speechless.
Oh, you are so hot. Ah!
Stop, you're making me blush.
No, for real.
Yo, so he got his girl to stream on Twitch to make money for both of them so she didn't have to work a regular job and he could not have to work his jobs, right? And then she meets a guy who's donating to her all this money and is flirting with him in the DM. So bro he got himself cheated on with his own plan.
I would do things to you.
Oh, I wish.
Are you gonna call tonight? I miss you.
Sure, babe.
Love you.
Eugene was angry for obvious reasons, but he felt like that's the business he's in. He talked to Danley, she apologized and promised she won't do it ever again. But none of them had any idea that this is the beginning of Danley's downfall. A few months passed after Lontic incident. Everything seemed fine, but something was different about Danley. She has tasted forbidden fruit and liked it a lot. It was only a matter of time until new Lontic would appear. And of course, he did. This time it wasn't just guy with money. It was also a guy with a lot of followers on YouTube. Justy would get around 1 million views at a time, so Danley would gain big exposure from their so-called friendship. They talked a lot, sent memes, heart emojis to each other, flirted, and after like a week or so, Justy told her he would be coming to Moscow to meet his friends, so if she wants to, they can go on a date. Elizabeth, despite having a boyfriend, likes the idea and agrees. They got some food, hanged out for a bit, and then went to hotel.
I want you to think about this. She cheated on you the first time, and you took her back, and you think it wasn't gonna happen again, brother?
Hotel room. Out of nowhere, hotel phone in their room starts blasting, and on the other side is some super angry dude demanding that Elizabeth goes out for a little talk. Ellie starts to cry and tells Justy that that's her ex-boyfriend. Justy, as a real man, tells her that they will go out and he will talk to them. They do so, and outside they see 3 black cars, 5 big Russian dudes, and him, Eugene, the so-called ex-boyfriend. 3 big guys grab Justy and take him to the side to give him a few punches. While that's happening, he can see how Elizabeth is reacting to one of those black cars as she's trying to break free. When that's done, they land final punch on Justy and drive off after they just kidnapped Ellie in front of Justy's eyes. He called police, but they didn't do much. However, the very next day, he receives a very
And she said that was her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, but she's still in the relationship with bro. Hold on.
strange message. Turns out, when Eugene found out Danley's out with some YouTuber in the hotel room, he called her up and said he will be there in 2 minutes to teach that guy a lesson. Danley panicked, ran downstairs, called him down and suggested they can fake a kidnapping to still make it look like Danley isn't the biggest, dirtiest liar in the world. Eugene felt like his emotions shouldn't stay in the way of their career, and he agreed. They did everything according to the plan, but the very next day he realized he's a cuck with a girl who nearly spent the night with some guy from the internet while he's over here taking care of her socials. So him and Justy made a goddamn 3 hours long video where they exposed Danley. Video from Justy got over 5 million views, and now everyone knows the true story of how ungrateful and evil Danley truly is. Maybe if Eugene was still around, Danley would even stream till this day, because he wrote scripts for her, edited videos, chose what clothes she should wear on the streams, took care of her Instagram, and did everything from A to Z. So if somehow
Damn, bro. So he literally was like, hey, if you just follow the method that I put in front of you, you will be making so much money. So he was actually way more involved than we thought. I thought he just suggested it. And then, like, he had her really looking right on here.
How she still held strong and didn't give up after being exposed. She could have done something. But since she took everything for granted, she didn't even know how to set up OBS. And if you bite the hand that feeds you, you might just get cancelled and quit internet. That's what happened to Danley.
Yo.
All of the e-girls from this video should be examples for us why lying won't get you far.
Crazy, bro. That was crazy. That was a crazy vid. Like, that was a W vid, though. Like, y'all was fucking with that? That was a W vid. That shit was clean. That shit was clean, baby. That was a W vid, though. Like, fun watch, man. You guys already know what to do, though. Hit that like button.